Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I bet you're here for another Drumset Fundamentals supplemental lesson. Just kidding, I saw you there the whole time. Anyways, my name's Vince from TheProDrummer.com. Welcome to another Drumset Fundamentals How to Play Drums supplemental lesson. In this lesson, we're going to take a deep dive into fills, playing fills with grooves, specifically single measure fill rhythms. If you go to my website, www.TheProDrummer.com, click under Student Resources, and I'm sure I'll say this a million times in this lesson, click on the PDF entitled Single Measure Fill Rhythms. That's what we're going to be using. There's a link to my website below in the description, so you can find it that way as well. Hopefully you'll find some interesting and fun new ways to go about playing fills with some grooves. We're going to go over 16th notes, 8th notes, and a couple other new rhythms that you'll find really useful in your playing. In the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. And as always, if you'd like some individualized one-on-one instruction, be sure to reach out to me, Vince at TheProDrummer.com, or on Instagram at TheProDrummer. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. First things first, go to my website, TheProDrummer.com, and if you click on the tab that says Student Resources, there you'll find links to different PDFs that we'll be using throughout this course and that I use in my lessons. Check back often because that will be updated quite frequently with new PDFs and new information. But the one we're going to be concerning ourselves with in this lesson is the single measure fill rhythms. So if you click on the PDF that says single measure fill rhythms, it will look like this. If you look below, this is what the PDF looks like. There's a bunch of different examples here. Let's go over them. So again, it says single measure fill rhythms. You'll see plenty of examples dealing with rhythms only. And what I mean by that is they're all going to be written in the snare drum line, but that does not mean just play them on the snare drum. We're going to be moving them around on the drums, around the toms, and we're going to manipulate them in different fashions. But for ease and for clarity, they're all just written on the snare drum line. So don't worry about what drum is this, what drum is that. We're going to be manipulating all of that. All right, so let's take a look at these. All of these fill rhythms are going to be dealing with two types of notes, 8th notes and 16th notes. Hopefully you know what those are by now. 8th notes, we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 16th notes, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. If any of that's confusing, go back to the video entitled How to Read Music or Introduction to Reading Music, Part 1 and Part 2. That'll talk a little bit more about this. But if you've been following along with some of my videos, you guys should have a pretty good grasp on 8th notes and 16th notes already. So first thing first, let's take a look at number 1. Now, if we look at it, number 1 is just solid 8th notes. When you download the packet, the numbers, it doesn't look like there's numbers there, but there are on most of them. It's just really, really small, so apologies on that. But number 1 is right here, solid 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first thing we're going to do is just make sure we could play that just on the snare drum. I'm going to click 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the hi-hat so you could have some idea of where that pulse is. 1, 2, number 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, again. For the most part, with these, what I'd like you to do is alternate your sticking. So you're basically playing them as a single stroke roll. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, or left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, if you're left-handed. We'll get into more ways to play these with double strokes and different hands leading, but for right now, just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Those will change in a little bit, but for right now, just try that. All right, so let's look at number 2 now. You'll see number 2 is just solid 16th notes. How do we know that they're 16th notes and not 8th notes? Again, go back to my video, Introduction to Reading Music. That will help. But just a quick review. These have 2 lines, 2 beams on each of the groups of notes. So again, 2 beams, 2 lines. That means it's some type of 16th note. If it's just 1, it is some type of 8th note, as you can see. So let's go back to this. solid 16th notes. And remember, we count 16th notes: 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. 1, 2, here we go. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. 2, ready, again. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Make sure you're counting. One more time. Okay? And once you get comfortable with that, repeat it over and over again. So how do we use these as fills? Really simple. We're just going to take number 1 or number 2. We're going to play a groove. I'm going to play an 8th note groove, and then I'll use number 1 as a fill, just on the snare drum, and then number 2 as a fill, just on the snare drum, so you could hear it. It'll sound like this. I'll do 3 bars and 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, and 4, and 2, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 3, and 2, and here's the fill. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and same thing with number 2. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay? So the first application we have is just playing them as fills on the snare drum. But then, once you're comfortable with that, let's move them around the drums. The first and the easiest way to do that is anything you play on beat 1 will be on the snare drum. Anything you play on beat 2 will be on the high tom. Anything on beat 3 will be on the middle tom, and anything on beat 4 will be on the floor tom. So number 1 will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, number 2. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1, 2, ready, again. Let's play those as fills. One, 2, number 1. Number 2, here we go. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Make sure you're counting. Make sure you're not speeding up. I know I say this a million times, but it's really important. And when you're playing those, make sure you understand the relation between the hi-hat, the 8th notes, and then whatever fill you're playing. There's a nice quick hit which talks about keeping time between fills and grooves. Check that out if you haven't already. Let's move on. Number 3. Okay, so if we look at this, now we're using a combination of 16th notes and 8th notes in the same measure. So if we look at number 3, beat 1 is 16th notes, 1 E and a. Beat 2 are 8th notes, 2 and. 3 are 8th notes, 3 and 4 are 8th notes, 4 and. So this fill on the snare drum is 1 E and a, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Play it with me. 1 E and a, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's move it around the drums like we did before. 1 E and a, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Ready? Again. Now as a fill. Now, while I was playing on my right hi-hat here, But I was keeping my left hi-hat going the whole time, so I really knew where beats 1, 2, 3, and 4 where that pulse was, so I wasn't speeding up or slowing down. That's a little trickier. You can try it, but in general, just keep track of where the pulse is, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's move on. So the next one, hopefully you're starting to see a pattern. Now we have the 16th notes on beat 2, so the fill rhythm is 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 around the drums. As a fill. Here's the fill, 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and... Okay, so I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but the next few, if you notice, use the same idea. So the number 1, all 8th notes. Number 2, all 16th notes. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6, right here, are just adding one group of 16th notes on different beats. So think of it as 8th notes, the basic rhythm is just 8th notes, and then you're adding some 16th notes, either on beat 1, 2, 3, or 4. Then if we go to the next couple, we're adding 2 groups of 16th notes. For example, number 7 is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 and. Now we just displace those 16th notes for number 8, starting on beats 2. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. These are really helpful for coordination if you keep beats 1, 2, 3, and 4 either in the bass drum or the hi-hat, but play them over and over to get them comfortable, and then you can play them a little faster. So let's go to number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10, 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3, 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1. Okay? Those you can move around the drums easily. Then if we go to the next one, or the next couple, we have a group of 16th notes, group of 8th notes, group of 16th notes, group of 8th notes. And then a group of 8th notes, group of 16th notes, group of 8th notes, group of 16th notes. A way to tell if you really have these down is to move from one to the next. So let's just move between these 4. I'll play them each 4 times. Actually, let me play them each twice, and then I'll move to the next one without stopping, okay? I'll play them a little quicker, and I will count the first time I play each new one. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and a. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and a. Did you follow along? Let's do it one more time. I'm not going to count out loud, but I want you to play those with me. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Switch. 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 Did you get them? Hope you did. Let's move on. I'd just like to take a quick minute to thank you for watching this videos and some of the other videos that I've put out. If you find this content useful, helpful, or informational, please subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend. That helps me more than you could know. Seeing as how this is basically a brand new channel, I'm just starting to put up educational content. The more you like, the more you subscribe, and the more you comment down below, the more that will help me. Thank you so much. And as always, if you need any one-on-one instruction, feel free to reach out. Let's get back to the video. Number 13 is, again, combining 16th notes and 8th notes, but a little faster. Okay, so now we have 2 16th notes on 1 and E and an 8th note on and. So the rhythm is 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. A way to think of this, a few ways. One is 2 16th and an 8th. That's the rhythm. But you could also think of it as just solid 16th notes and not playing the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Or you could think of it as eighth notes with an E in between. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Whichever way is most comfortable for you and makes the most sense to you. There's no wrong way that I just explained it. Those are all valid ways of interpreting this rhythm. So let's play this. Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. A note on sticking. For this, my sticking is a little different. I'm using a right-hand lead because that's a little bit more comfortable for me. So I'm playing right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. You could also do left, right, left, left, right, left, or alternate. A true alternating sticking would be right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. At first, that may be a little easier for you. Try them each way, okay? I'll play with that true alternating sticking. 1, 2, here we go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Let's play it as a fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Around the drums. Catch that? Again, you could use any groove. We could do a quarter note groove, eighth note, 16, or something else, but make sure you have a great grasp on where 1, 2, 3, and 4 is, because we don't want that to change. Now, in the next few, if I move this over to the next one, basically the rhythm is all eighth notes, except for now one beat is going to have this new rhythm, 1 E and. So now beat 1 is 1 E and, beat 2 is 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Let me play this one for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As a fill, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Around the drums. Okay. So far, we've just played it around the drums, beats 1, 2, 3, and 4, and on the snare drum. But that's okay. There's other ways to do it, which we will get to. But let's move on. Let's go to the next few here. I'm going to put a few in frame. Let's do these. So now you notice that that 1 E and is moving throughout. So it's on beat 2, then on 3 E and, then 4 E and, then 2 of them, 1 E and, 2 E and. Let me play these in the same manner I did before. I'm going to play them each 2 times. I'll count the first time, moving from one to the next without stopping. Try and play along. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and. 1 E and 2 E and 4 and. One more time. Let's play it together a little quicker. 1, 2, ready, go. Next. 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 Did you catch it? Hope so. I'm going to speed through the next few. If we look, it's just the same idea. All eighth notes, but one of those is going to be one E and. Now, if we go to the next page, again, the numbers are really freaking small, so it's hard to see, but if we go to the next page, if we go to number 24, the one after 23, now we're doing the same idea, but instead of where the eighth notes were, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, it's solid 16th notes. So now we have 1 E and, 2 E and, a 3 E and, a 4 E and. A. When you first start these, make sure you can count them aloud without playing. Sitting at your drums, counting aloud, 1 E and, 2 E and, a 3 E and, a 4 E and, a, but in time. Be specific and intentional with that. This does not count. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 and, 4 and, 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 and. We're never going to play like that. We want to count it with the same rhythm and the same intensity that we're going to play it. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. Okay? Really important. If you look at the next ones, it's all the same idea of moving the 16th notes and the 16th and 8th note around in the bar, okay? So I'm not going to play these. If you have any questions, please comment below or shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, and let me know if you'd like me to cover these, but these are all really good ones to work on. All right, let's go to the next one now. This one we're going to enlarge. It's kind of the opposite. So this is number 34. Number 34. Okay. Now the rhythm is an eighth note and 2/16. So it's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. You could think about this in a few different ways. 1 as just solid 16th notes, leaving out the E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Or you can think of it as solid eighth notes, 1 and 2 and adding an in between and the next note. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Or just think of it as an eighth and 2/16. Whichever way is easiest for you, do it that way. But make sure that you've got a good grasp on it. One important thing I'd like to touch on this. Let's play this one a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a little faster. 1 and a 2 and 3 and here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. We haven't done triplets yet, so don't worry too much about them, but these are not triplets, okay? The way we need to count them, 1, rest on E, and a. They're not evenly spaced. Important. An eighth note and 2/16 are not evenly spaced. We are not doing this. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. That's a different rhythm. We'll get to it, but we're not playing that rhythm right now. We're playing 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Hear the difference? I'll play one bar and one. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. Those are two different rhythms. One is an eighth and 16th, what we're trying to play now, and one is triplets, which we will get to. Those are 3 evenly spaced notes in one beat. We're not doing that right now. But I wanted to show you so you're aware in case you find you're getting a little lazy in playing. That's a different rhythm. It's cool to play that. Play it all you want, but that's a different rhythm, okay? Let's play these as fills now. So I'll play this one as a fill just on the snare drum and then around the drum so you could hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And a Okay, again, loop this, make sure you can play it, maybe keeping the bass drum and the hi-hat going. And you will get it. A good song to think of to realize what this is the song Get Back by the Beatles. The groove that Ringo's playing, bass drum is going, but it's just this groove. 1 and a 2, da-ga-da, da-ga-da, da-ga, 1. That's the groove to the song. It's this rhythm throughout basically the whole thing. So if you need some references, like what's a song that has this so I know what it sounds like, that's a great one. Get Back by the Beatles. Dot, digga, dot, digga, dot, digga, dot, digga, dot, digga, dot, digga, bow, bow, down. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. It's good to have those little tricks once in a while just to kind of remember. All right, let's go on. I'm going to make this a little smaller. The rest, same idea, okay? Now we're adding an eighth note there. So let me play these 4. Play them along with me. Same thing that I just did. I'm going to count them each once and then just play them without counting. Let's do it together, okay? 1, 2, 3, and here we go. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a. Okay, the rest of this page is more of the same. Just manipulating it with different groups of eighth notes, and then 8th and 16th. And then we go to the final page, same idea. 8th and 16th mixed with solid 16th notes. Let's play these 4 together, okay? No counting. 1, 2, here we go. Next. Next. Okay. Finally, at the end of this last page, we have some combinations of both of those rhythms. 1 and a, and then 1 E and, or 8th and 2/16th, and 2/16ths and an 8th. So if we look at this one, the rhythm would be, I'll enlarge it a little for you guys. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 and a 4. I'm sorry. 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and 1 and a 2 E and 3 and a 4 E and. Okay. Oh, I added an extra hit there. Be careful, don't do what I did. If we go to the next one, little different. 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and. One and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and 1 and a 2 and a 3 E and 4 E and. Final one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 and a 4 and a 1 E and 2 E and 3 and a 4 and a. Okay. Now, we've talked about different ways to play these, but not too many different ways. So let's just go over the steps to get these. First step is sit down at your drums, tap your foot, make sure you can count them in time. Make sure you understand them and then count them in time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and a 2E and 3 and a 4E and whichever they are. But then, once you get them, play them just on the snare drum. Now, let's go over a few different ways to move them around the drums to come up with some really cool combinations. All right? So ways to move some of these fills around. Let's just start with, let's go to number 11. 1E and a 2 and 3E and a 4 and. So there's a couple ways to do it. One, obviously just on the snare drum. Moving around the drums, one beat on each drum. Okay. Furthermore, if you think of, and I would look at my camera, my overhead camera right now, if you look at these 4 drums, and most likely your drum set consists of the snare drum, 2 rack toms, and a floor tom. I have an extra tom here and here, but don't worry about it. Your kit may not have a middle tom. That's totally fine. But let's pretend we have a snare drum, 2 rack toms, and a floor tom. Let's divide each of these drums into a beat. That's basically what we did. Beat 1 here, beat 2 here, beat 3 here, beat 4 here. Let's do the same thing, but in a different order. Let's play beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. So now it's the same fill, but a different orchestration, more of an L shape here. Again. So everything on beat 1 and 3 is here, beat 2 is here, beat 4 is here. You could do that with any of them. Okay, so you can get comfortable like that and then put it in with a groove. 3, 4. Let me play number 11 like that. Okay? You can pick basically any order you want. Let's do beat 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is kind of an X, okay? Okay, I was doing 1 bar and 1 bar, but you kind of see. So you can pick each beat on a different drum. You can double them up. Maybe we'll do beats 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Again, 2, here I go. 1E and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and. So you can repeat drums. When you're doing it this way and you're thinking in terms of shapes, very visual, some fills may sound better than others, okay? So you'll find what you like and what I think sounds great may be different than what you think sounds great. So you may find a fill that you really like that other people don't like. Doesn't really matter. If you like it, go with it. But try with that. Experiment. Now, if you have more drums, you can split it up. Maybe I'll play beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm skipping this drum, but I'm adding in my low floor tom. Or maybe I'm just doing these toms, no snare drum. Okay, maybe I'm going up the drums. Okay, so there's many different ways to do it, but the basic idea of that is 1 beat per drum. We can add multiple beats in a row on the same drum, but basically 1 beat per drum. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to switch every 8th note. So beats 1 and E, 2E, 3E, 1E, and 2E, and then we repeat 3E, and 4E, and So anything on 1 or 3 here, the and of 1 or the and of 3 here, beat 2 or 4 here, and the and of 2 and the and of 4 here. So let me show you what that sounds like. instead of 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and, we would have 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, so that's another way to do it. You could probably think of hundreds of ways where you decide where everything is going to go beforehand, and that's basically what we're doing. We're figuring out what beats are on which drums. You could switch that around. Let's do this now in a little bit more organic way. So let's take this same fill, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep my hi-hat playing on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to play this same rhythm, but I'm just going to kind of randomly move it around the drums at will. I'll use all the drums for this. You can pick what drums to use. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's first just use the snare drum and high tom and get comfortable playing the rhythm between those two drums, okay? I'll start on the snare, and I'll play a little quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm going to add in the high tom without changing the rhythm. Every thing I just played was 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a, or sorry, 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and, but it was only on those two drums, okay? Now let's add in the floor tom. Same thing. 3, 4. This way, this will help your coordination, and you may find some really cool ideas that you didn't think of otherwise that just come out. Some of them will sound better than others, again. So you could do that, adding in each of the drums one by one. Let me do the same thing, and I'm going to move that around basically all the drums, but I'm sticking with that rhythm. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, all of that was 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and, but just moving it around. Here's a cool game you can play. I kind of like to do this with my students. Think of it kind of as a game. So let's take this rhythm. This is going to be the fill. And I want to see, how many times you can play it. But each time you play it, the rhythm has to stay the same. We're going to play 3 bars of the groove, 1 bar of the fill. You can play the same rhythm. In fact, you should play the same rhythm every time, 1 E and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and. But the orchestration, where you play it, has to be different each time, okay? So if you repeat the same fill with the same orchestration, you lose. But if you play the same fill with a different rhythm and keep going, just see how long you could do it, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the groove for 3 bars and then the fill. Every time I play the fill, it's going to be the same rhythm, but it's going to be around the drums in a different manner, okay? I'll do it a few times so you get the idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can't do it just on the snare drum again. Okay, got to think of a new one now. I just lost because I played that same fill that I played at the beginning, okay? So try and produce a different fill each time. You can do that with all of these rhythms, with this whole packet, okay? So those are some ways to practice it. Think about what drum we're hitting before, one beat per drum, and then just freely moving it around. So far, all we've dealt with was rhythm and orchestration. So we kept the rhythm accurate to what it says on the page, but we moved around whatever drums we wanted to, basically. We didn't touch on dynamics yet. That's another thing you can do. You can play these quietly, loudly. You can do a crescendo, get louder. You could do a decrescendo. There's a lot of different ways to play these. For right now, we're just focused on the rhythm and the orchestration, okay? But later on, we'll get a little bit more in depth with dynamics and things like that, because the difference between this fill and this fill, or this fill, are huge. They will all be completely different in a groove context. They will sound completely different. Even though it was the same rhythm and the same drum, the dynamics really changed it. And we'll get into a deep dive in dynamics in another lesson. But for right now, take it slow. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment below. Make sure you can count them. Make sure you understand them. Make sure you can count them. Make sure you can count them in time. Make sure you can play them on the snare drum. Make sure you can play them around the drums. Add them to a groove, okay? That is the single measure fill rhythm packet. Again, go on my website, TheProDrummer.com, student resources, and it's the single measure fill rhythm PDF. Let's wrap it up. Well, there you have it. Some single measure fills that you can use, play around with to make your playing a little bit more exciting. Remember, go through those, take your time. I already gave you some ideas on how to orchestrate them around the drum kit, but come up with your own ideas too. If you find a new way that I didn't talk about, comment below, reach out to me. I'd love to hear it, and maybe I'll feature it on the next lesson. In the meantime, again, be sure to like, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will get back to you on it. Again, I'd love to teach you one-on-one. I teach virtually through Zoom or at my studio here in New York City. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can find me on my website, TheProDrummer.com, Instagram @TheProDrummer, or email me, Vince@TheProDrummer.com. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Let me know what you'd like to see next. And in the meantime, have fun, make some freaking noise, play some freaking drums, have some freaking fun. I'll talk to you later.